Good morning. My name is Min. I'm co-founder and CEO of Totum Wealth. Totum means all, the whole in Latin, and we're providing a more modern risk profiling experience for financial advisors and their clients. This is our awesome team. We're more than 4 people, but this is the core team, UI, UX, CTO, and COO, and myself. We bring a wealth of experience from investment management, risk analytics, as well as software development. So today I'm going to talk about what is Totum, what are our technology challenges that are also applicable to other B2B wealth tech startups, and then finally how we are able to overcome these challenges and achieve innovation and deliver product market fit to our target customers. So on a macro level, there's been a lot of changes in our industry. So first, there's the fiduciary rule by the Department of Labor, which means, which is pushing a lot of the broker-dealers to offer higher value-added services such as financial planning and moving away from simply selling financial products. And demographically, the millennial generation is going to become the largest population in the United States for the next 50 years. And they're also facing a $30 trillion wealth transfer from the baby boomers. And then also, more advisors are experiencing a price compression from low-cost ETFs as well as robo-advisors. So all these trends combined means advisors need to up their game and upgrade their tech stack to offer suitable as well as easy digital solutions to drive differentiation and efficiency. On a more micro level, the problem that we're solving is that the existing risk profiling is not defensible. So look at this happy couple from San Francisco. Jake works in venture, Mara works in healthcare tech, and I think a lot of you might resonate with this situation. Their assets include a condo in Soma. They have carried interest from the venture fund. They have restricted stock units from her tech company. And because they're so familiar with the tech space, most of their liquid assets are also invested in the tech stock. What they're blissfully unaware of is the damaging hidden correlation that can happen to them when something bad like the tech bubble, the dot-com bubble happens. Your home value is down 10%, which is not a big deal maybe, but your investment accounts might be down 50, and your RSUs might be down 3/4. So Totum is the first to identify human capital factors. What do we mean by that? This is the unique idiosyncratic risk factors and exposures that exist in every one of our lives. So in addition to thinking about risk appetite, which is a psychological tolerance, that's your willingness for risk, we also go deeper and think about how much risk you should be taking on given your unique situation. So we think about your health, your career, where you're in your life stage, what's your family responsibility, and how that relates to your financial goals. So we created our proprietary Totum risk score that helps the advisor to deepen the conversation. So using a questionnaire, and in the future we'll also be able to enable a CRM integration or pulling profile data directly from the custodian or from the broker-dealer to get to a risk score. And then we can also score a portfolio that the client has. And this experience helps the advisor intuitively explain whether there's a gap between how the client's investing versus what they really need, and how the advisor can help them achieve this alignment of risk. So now I'm going to talk about the tech challenges for a B2B wealth tech startup. First is data engineering. And 2 is quantitative models and analytics. And 3 is we found that integration to be an absolute necessity to be able to distribute our product and how we have to deal with cyber compliance. So data engineering, there's been a lot of choices. So first is we needed to support 55,000 ETFs and stock tickers, right? And even beyond that, like single name bonds, which we don't do just yet. And we've selected Exignite to provide this API that pulls data in not only from the exchanges, but also fundamental data on stocks and funds from Morningstar and ExitNight. Morningstar and FactSet. And then account aggregation, this is when we allow advisor to seamlessly pull in and held away accounts to make that analysis instead of like asking for a piece of paper of the client's account statement and typing it in. And we were part of InvestNet Yodlee's YNext incubator. So we're using Yodlee for account aggregation. And pre-inception replacement means like we want it to be more robust and show more daily performance data backtest that goes back to, say, before the time period of a certain security. And this is where we produce our own proprietary replacement map to be able to enable a longer history instead of cutting it off as some of our competitors are doing. So here, let me just start with a demo. This is our new 2.0 experience. You can start with creating a portfolio, or you can start with a questionnaire. If you're really familiar with the client, you can immediately enter using the slider to enter to adjust for the risk score that you think is appropriate. So if you click on create a portfolio, we can do create manually. We support Excel import. You can also sync accounts using Yodlee. And you can also select one of the model portfolios that you have saved. You can have any number of them. And then this is an experience to pull in custodial accounts. And here, once you've prepared your portfolio, you can see a comparison of your portfolio risk score as well as the client risk score. And we are able to support multiple accounts. This is a collapsed view. But if you want to, say, add an account, you can go through the same experience here. So you can add any number of accounts. It's not working. Anyways, so this is supported by some of the data engineering decision I was talking about. And then also here is our scenario analysis functionality, and we're built on Angular and JS.Node. We're just upgrading to Angular 2 right now and use a REST API to talk to our SQL backend. And we do these calculations kind of on the fly, right? Like once you have a portfolio, we can calculate any of the time period, 1 year, 5 year, 10 years since 2000, global financial crisis, .com, and recession. So these scenarios really help advisors instantly tell the story and support why their portfolios are able to provide protection during downtimes, though they may not be able to outperform the market necessarily during a bull market. So really help clients understand the risk trade-offs using any of these analytics. Let me go back to my presentation. And the next one I want to move on to, which is how we model human capital factors. So I was talking about all these things we think about, and we really just boil down to one number at the end, but that one number is driven by two things. One is risk capacity, and one is risk appetite, right? So we think both of these are important, but it's more prudent to, go with the lower of the two. So in this case, Jake and Mara they wanted to take a higher level of risk, which is risk appetite, and their portfolios invested about 80% equity. And then their advisor is saying, okay, you guys should invest within your risk capacity and at 49% equity. So Jake and Mara's portfolio would have lost almost 50% during the .com crash, and the advisor's portfolio is able to offer protection. And then everything that's going on in the background, this is kind of a simplified illustration, which is we take the questionnaire, we take the client profile, and then we can analyze any portfolio. And then we have our optimization engine that considers multidimensional factors to align what we get in terms of a client risk score using the securities in that portfolio to create a truly tailored portfolio that fits the client's unique situation. And finally, there's the integration point, which we find it to be absolutely necessary to distribute any kinds of software tools in this space. So first, we have to figure out what to display at the integration partner. In our case, it's the two circles you've seen with our proprietary risk scores. And then how would the data flow? Sometimes it's an API single sign-on. Sometimes it's a more native integration where our widget will sit on top of a dashboard at our integration partner. And then we also find that this space is not extremely modern, right? Like not every provider, every integration partner has an API. And the resources both at our company as a startup as well as at the bigger company to do integration is very limited. So that pushes us to really think about what's our roadmap and how can we design our architecture to accommodate the most efficient course of action. And then compliance with cybersecurity can take months, but it's a good thing for a startup like us to do, and it will open a lot of doors. So that's more about having the procedures, having the standards, having a lot of things in place. That's not necessarily technical, but you have to be able to do that in order to achieve wider distribution. So finally, we're able to overcome a lot of these challenges and deliver innovation and value. Our target markets are registered independent investment advisors as well as independent broker-dealers. So with broker-dealers, more of an enterprise type of distribution strategy. So you have to kind of get on the platform or get their approval. So we launched in January and have over 300 advisors using the platform. People like it. One, for the engaging and fun experience of working with the clients, and two, the thoughtfulness in the life risk, as this advisor calls it. And overall, we're competing with a more robust approach to risk. We think about human capital factors. Nobody else in the space is really quantifying that. We provide the responsive virtual simulation that you guys have seen. And then we not only do the profiling, but also go one step further to do the customization. Not a lot of providers do that. And then finally, we're seeking enterprise customers. Next year we're really focused on integration. As some of these customers can be our strategic investors, potentially very open to discussion. And if you have any questions, please come talk to me at the booth. You're welcome to sign up for a trial at app.totumwealth.com. And thanks for your time.